Hey guys and girls, I hope you're having a great day. You can tell I am having a great day, absolutely no doubt about it. I'm out here fishing, and when you're fishing, you're having a great day. And this day is like an unbelievable day. This is like a day like absolutely no other because there's no wind blowing. In Oklahoma, no wind blowing. That is absolutely amazing. And what I'm going to try to do, what I'm going to try to talk to you about today is finding fish in isolated offshore cover. Fishing out in the middle of the lake. You know, I had the first couple of tournaments this year. I won $10,000 in both tournaments, one at Sam Rayburn, one down at the Kissimmee chain of lakes. And both those tournaments I was fishing offshore, you know, 100, 200, 300 yards away from the bank, not even anywhere close to the bank. I was fishing different stuff in both of them. But what I'm going to try to talk to you about is fishing isolated cover in deep water. We're going to get in some flats, 13, 14, 15, 16, might even get down to 20 foot, and try to find isolated cover. In other words, I hit something right there. In other words, just little individual pieces of brush, a stump, a log, a piece of brush, or maybe a clump of moss growing up all by itself, but an individual piece of cover. It's one of the most overlooked pieces of fish that you can catch. Because most people will go across a flat and they'll see something here, they'll see something here, they won't ever stop and fish them. Because when you're fishing deep, mostly you're fishing exact spots. Now what I'm going to try to show you how to do is find those isolated pieces of structure. You're going to see them on your locator and then throw at them. And hopefully we'll find one or two that's got a fish on it. Might find one that's got 15 or 20 fish on it, I don't know. The water temperature's dropped, so this technique is probably a couple weeks past due, really. But hopefully we'll find some isolated deep water structure that has a bass on it. Let's get after it and see what we can do. Yeah, I don't know if I got him good. He hit it falling. Nice fish. We have an incredibly beautiful, ooh, a nice fish, day out here today. It's almost too pretty to catch fish. It's going to be about 85 degrees, but it's been cold. It's been down to 30. Oh, nice fish. What a great way to start the day right there. It is dead slick, dead calm out here. Look at that fish. Wow, what a way to start the day. Looky there. I can't land that thing. He hit it falling. I got a Tokyo rig on there. See that Tokyo rig? That's one of my buddy up in Kansas built and sent me. This one's got a three-way swivel on it. He builds them actually both ways. Looky there. What a way to start the day out. I just barely had him hooked, but I had him hooked good enough. Looky there. What a way to start the day. Nice 5-pound bass. Short, chunky fish. Not very long, but God, look at the size of him. That girl is going to grow up and be a monster. Now, a lot of times when a fish hits falling like that, it might mean there's other fish in the area, because I'm out here in about 12 or 14 foot of water trying to fish some isolated structure. The water temperature has fallen from 83 degrees down to about 70. So it's really changed quite a little bit. It's really changed quite a little bit in the last week or so. We had water that one night, it got down to 31 degrees. Try to duplicate that cast exactly that I just made. I never felt anything except a bite. The bait never hit bottom. Sometimes when it does that, there's several fish there and you throw it in there and that fish sees that bait, jumps up there and grabs it, kind of like a chicken, jumps up there and grabs it before anything else has a chance to. Golly, yes, what a way to start. Yeah. Great way to start any day. Big fish of the day, huh? Big fish of the day? I'd say so. It's the only fish of the day. Could have been a 2-pounder. He'd still been the big fish of the day. Ooh, there's one right there. Off structure fish. Oh, God, that's a big one. Oh, gee whiz. Golly, this might be a giant. This could be a 10-pounder. God, look at him pull. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that fish pull. Look at that. God, holy cow. If you come up and you're 3 pounds, I'm going to throw my rod and reel in the lake and throw up. I didn't had a 12-pound fight. This has got to be a giant. I mean, this has got to be a giant. This could be a big catfish or something. I don't know if it's even a bass. And it hadn't tried to jump or anything. That's a bass. That's a big bass. He's a big bass. Golly, he's not 10 pounds. He's big though. I came down there in that clear water. He's 7 pounds. Come here, God, dog, baby. Oh, oh man. Yeah, he's well over 7. Look how fat he is. Look how fat that fish is. Wow. Big old Lucky Strike paddle tail worm on a. I'll show you that Tokyo rig in a minute. Buddy of mine up in Kansas made those. There's a 7-pounder right there. That's a 7-pound bass, 7 plus. 7 might be closer to 8 than he is 7. Giant bass. Holy cow! Gee whiz! Yes! Ha 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 ha! If that fish weighed 20 pounds, it would have surprised me. Well, 20 pounds would have surprised me. This is a Tokyo rig. It's kind of one of the popular baits that way they're rigging worms nowadays. And the big thing it does, they're using it for a punch bait some too, but the big thing that the Tokyo rig does, it just allows the worm to swing freely over here. This one, my buddy up there in Kansas rigged up on a 3-way swivel. And you got one end of this 3-way swivel tied to your line. You got it tied to the swivel right there. One end of the 3-way swivel's on a split ring, and I got my bait on that. The other is to a drop weight. That weight's going along the bottom. This is completely free up here, nothing encumbering it like a Texas rig. If you're gonna fall down through the grass, it falls straight down. That's a homemade, and he made it just specially for me. Made me several of them. I've been catching a lot of fish on them. He made me some more just regular ones and sent them to me this week that are they're just regular Tokyo rigs. Golly. Holy smokes. Did you see that fish pull? Gee whiz. What I'm fishing is isolated structure. Offshore. Not structure that you can see, but I should need to hit that spot lock and I wouldn't be drifting off every time. I get so excited when I get a bite because I fished quite a while without a bite. You got to hit the right piece of isolated structure. But I'm fishing structure that's offshore, not structure that I can see except by my locator. As you see, mostly it's a flat bottom. Look at that right there. 14 foot deep, a flat bottom. This is one of the unusual places that you can catch fish that not everybody else in the lake finds, because not many people are going to stop and fish one little piece of structure out here in 14 foot of water. They just go right over it. They see it, it's a stump or a piece of brush or some grass or a log or dead body. No, not a dead body. Don't be fishing dead bodies. Sunken boat. It could be just about anything down there. And they fish that. They see that, and it's just one piece. It's just not worth. It's kind of hard to do too. It's kind of hard once you find that structure. That's one of the things. I should have hit a spot lock. If you hit a spot lock, then your boat's going to stay right exactly where you are. You can duplicate the same cast where you got a bite. But I hit one piece of structure down there. The first fish I caught, I didn't hit anything. He hit on a fall. And I finally hit that structure again. Got that big one. So I don't know how many fish are on that piece of structure. There'll usually be 1 or 2 there, just like it is if it's up shallow. The thing you got to remember and think about, keep in your mind, it's no different than going down the bank when you're fishing this isolated structure in deep open water. There's no different than going down the bank and you're catching fish on a log. So you come up to a log, you fish that log a lot more carefully, you peruse it a lot better, you make multiple casts at it because you're catching fish off of logs. And you go along, you find another log, you do the same thing. Well, this is what you do fishing isolated structure off of the bank, is when you find a piece of structure down there, try to duplicate that piece of structure, whether it's a tree, a bush, one individual clump of grass, a bare spot. A piece of isolated structure can actually be a bare spot in grass. But you're looking for those little pieces of things out there, that are little holding areas. The difficulty is you can't see them. I mean, you can see them with your locator. That's the only way you can see them. But it's very similar to fishing down the bank, except I like to get in these big flat areas that have gentle slope-offs and then try to find some isolated structure out here. There is always isolated structure on the bottom. You look around, you're going to find it. And that isolated structure could be just a difference in the bottom. You know, that structure is anything on the bottom or close to the bottom. Oh, Jimmy, get out of that tree. There, it got out of it. Oh. You do not want to hang up in that isolated structure. You kind of ruin the spot. But yeah, a structure is anything that's on the bottom, close to the bottom, that is different than the bottom. And it could be depth even. It could be a drop. It could be a little hole. It could be a little mound. It could be, you know, a little underwater, two little creeks or something to come together. Something that's different on the bottom. That's what structure is. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for those differences. And you can see there's not much out here. There's not much. I found a piece over there, and that's where I caught those two fish right there, was off of that piece, and they're both giants. Probably the only two there, but we're going to look around and find some more of them. Butterfly matches my reel. You like that reel? Huh? You like that reel? That's nice, isn't it? It sure is. Yeah. Looky there. Looky there. He thinks he's found a friend. Yeah. Oh yeah, right there. One little piece of stuff I hit. Oh, nice fish. You see him jump like a tarpon bass. Yeah, one little bitty piece of brush. Nice fish. That Tokyo rig is really, really good around that brush. It'll fall through it. It doesn't get hung up much. Really kind of use it anywhere you use a Texas rig. You know, the main deal is your worm is just free. It's just back here all by itself. It doesn't have anything to encumber it. That's a vegetable, isn't it? An encumber? I think it is. An encumber. It's a vegetable. It doesn't have anything to encumber the action. I got him. Pretty nice fish. Acts like a little one, Jimmy. Yeah, it acts like a little one. Here's a fish. Acts like a little one. Golly, Jimmy, that fish is 20 foot deep. I guarantee you. 18 foot deep. 18 foot deep. Look at the belly on that booger, will you? That's a nice fish right there. Golly, that's a healthy fish. My goodness. Go ahead, baby. Jump over in the boat with me. Yeah. Look at that fish. Wow. One of the things you're going to find fishing with big worms. I know little worms catch a lot of fish. And they're really good for finesse fishing, but big worms produce fish like that. That's a nice, big, beautiful bass right there. That is a, look at the belly on that booger, will you? That's what people say when they see me. Look at the belly on that booger. Yeah, baby. Tokyo rig. That fish was in a little piece of brush out there in 18 foot of water. You know, I mentioned earlier that the water temperature had cooled down to, that's 71.3. It's warmed up a little bit in this hot sunshine today. But that fish hit so lightly, I thought it was a bluegill. I mean, he hit so lightly, I thought it was a bluegill. I hit one little piece of brush down there in 18 foot of water. I mentioned that I thought those fish might go shallower, and I think a lot of them probably have. I think a lot of them have. One little piece of brush down there in that open water in 18 feet, and I felt this little tick, and I picked it up, and it didn't feel like nothing, but it was moving just a little bit, and I thought, surely that's a little crappie or a bluegill or something. I've been having some bluegill bite my worms in too today anyway. 18 foot deep. Some of the fish have gone deeper. I bet you some of them have gone shallower. So where do you fish? 0 to 18. 0 to 18, that's where you fish, Jimmy. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. And that's an open water technique that you really need to learn, you really need to try. The key things in fishing open water, isolated objects, is isolated objects. You're looking for isolated structure on the bottom. Make sure you've got a decent locator, and I've got pretty expensive locators. You don't have to have $3,500 locators. The locators that are down just a few $100s nowadays will show you that isolated structure very, 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 very well. Isolated structure, a good locator, keep your eyes on the locator. That's the most important thing. And the third thing is fish slowly. One more little tip, big worms, big worms. Go out there and look for some of that isolated cover. Mark it when you find it. Catch you some really, really big bass. Hey guys and girls, if you like this video, share it with 4 or 5, 8 or 10 of your friends, 50 of your friends, I don't care. If you're not subscribed to Jimmy Houston Outdoors YouTube channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We post videos on Wednesday, Friday, and a Sunday afternoon chat. Plus, every now and then I just throw one in. Later, guys and girls, I love you.